Welcome back, awesome action toy fans and subscribers. They're looking at this Dinosaur Battlefield dinosaur. This is by Axytoys, Axytoys, supposed to be in the 1/12 scale. A couple of QR codes you want to maybe scan, if you want to follow them or find some info. Not sure if that's WeChat or what. Axytoys. All joints in the arm on the fire should be heated before insertion and removal to avoid damage caused by unheated insertion and removal. And it says hot water or hairdryer, the usual. Let's get this off. Does look pretty good on the box. Suitable for 18 and upwards, not suitable for children under 3 years old, etc. etc. 2022, released this year though. Maybe the box was designed last year. Nice holographic. You can sort of you can make it out there as well. Holographic box, which is nice. Shows the different colours. It's the sort of the sand one and then the green one here. You can open it up inside. I've got the sand sort of colour one. You see, pretty cool. And it's got info about the different factions. Not sure what faction this guy is, but hopefully you get to see some more of this stuff in the future. And if it's any good, I might get some more as well. Very, very cool. Today is Sunday, the 16th of July, 2023. Lots of content. Consider joining the Patreon. It's free for 7 days, and you can cancel anytime, so not have cost you a single penny. So it is worth checking out. Okay, I'm going to unbox and set this up, and we'll get into this. I'll be back in an instant. Stay tuned. Okay, here he is. First impressions, looks amazing. There's a little bit of setup, and I'll talk about that in a second, but he is great. The only thing I'm not keen on is the tail seems to be needed for him to stand up. He's always leaning on the tail. There is a joint in the tail that only goes up and down, but it's so loose, or not tight enough rather, that when you put the tail up, the weight of the tail will bring it down, so he's always standing on his tail. He's going to really articulate him leaning forwards or running with those ankle joints, which I need to try and see if they're strong enough to support his weight. So we'll look at a close look at him in a second. We'll look at his alternate hands first, and we'll look at him and the accessories he's got. And I'll talk about the setup. So he comes with just one pair of extra hands, and they are tight gripping hands, possibly to hold his dagger, which he's got on him at the moment. We'll look at that in a second. You see he's only got 4 digits, 3 fingers and a thumb. Also he's a dinosaur with a 6-pack, which I thought was a bit, and pecs, which I thought was a bit amusing, but you know, humoroish. So let's get a close look at him. You see that he's got soft goods set up. All these little spikes that you're seeing in his armor here, his shins and whatnot, his forearms, you're pushing yourself. So I haven't done it very uniform. I've got different spikes, different places, not matching. You're pushing the bone parts, these little hanging parts here. This one here, the necklace goes on. I chose to hang, where's it gone? This part here from this side, because that's on the little hook. These parts here you push in. You push in. I haven't put his belt part over his, I'm assuming it's his waist, since it looks like you have to take him apart. I'm going to do that straight away. Comes with this nice little dagger here, which is like a bone dagger, but looks absolutely fantastic. Look at that. That is awesome looking. And I am assuming you'd hold that in these set of hands here. It's quite a tight. I might take that back, since these fingers are quite stiff. However, having said that, these ones are too loose, so it's going to look like it has to be these hands here. So I would suggest, oops, I just knocked his spike out. I would suggest that if you get one of these and you want to put the dagger in the tight hands, that you heat up the hand in hot water first, so it's more malleable, and then you can stick the dagger in. Because I'm not sure if that probably would bend enough, but it's not going to be as easy to bend as I perhaps would like. You know what? I'm telling a lie. You can. There we go. Like that. But it doesn't hold it that tightly. But it's alright. It's not bad. Still, it's a very effective, nasty looking dagger. I'm guessing it would be backwards as opposed to what we would think of as a normal way of holding knife. It's not a slicing knife. It's a sort of stabbing knife. Okay, let's get that out of his hands. In fact, I'm probably telling a lie. It's probably easier to push it in from the bottom. Yeah. So push it in that way, probably easy. Anyway, let's continue our closer look at him. Wow, those little spikes are sharp. So here he is, handsome boy. Quite effective. The armor is beautifully done with the paintwork. It's like they've done it black and just heavily dry brushed it silver, which is how armor looks really particularly nice, you know, that way. Lacking paintwork on the shin parts behind there. Beautiful soft goods on his waist. The leather effect is nice on here. Down below, it's a bit of inking, needs some more. It's nice paintwork on him. You see some sort of striping effect on there. You know, more can be done again, but you can't complain. If you've got the silver on the buckles there, he does look good. Now, would I be tempted to buy more of these? The same one? Yeah, maybe one or two. Other ones they release, I think I'll definitely have a look at. Let's get an idea of articulations. So head to bottom. First, the jaw, I'm assuming, does open. Yeah. Oh, very nice. Look, check inside his mouth. So the mouth opens. The head, is it one piece from the neck? It appears to be one piece from the lower neck. So it all turns like this, left and right, up and down, side to side, not really side to, small side to side, up and down's okay, left and right is like that. Shoulders, they're not going to go all around with the armour on. You could take it off. I don't know how it attaches. Is it glued on maybe? In fact, it looks like it might be glued on, or is it a stud? Feels like a stud that goes into him. A bit shoulders, a bit stiff, but there you go, all around at an angle because of his armour. There we go. Sideways, he hits 90 degrees or just about. Bicep bend, there's a bicep swivel. Bicep bend with the forearm armour is slightly under 90. It's got turn and wave articulation. You could change that to a gun articulation if you wanted to. There's obviously trunk, which is great forwards, backwards, side to side is alright and can turn. There is a separate waist you can turn. Hips, really good. Taekwondo for the Dinosaur Olympics. Forwards is alright. Backwards is hardly anything of anything at all. He has a single kneecap. He gets under 90 degrees. And then his foot, there is that a turn or swivel? It's a foot swivel, not a boot turn. Gets a very good tippy toe, but dorsiflexation is kind of stopped by his arm here. Got to push the armour up and then push his toes up. And really, okay, now, I was about to say now he's standing without his tail, but he wants to fall over. Okay, now I've got him standing without his tail touching. He's going to fall over. But he still wants to... Oh, there we go. His tail is not touching. And he's standing, but it's quite loose. So basically having that tail on the ground is the best option. His little sort of necklace, which is rather cool, fell off just then. So, you know, articulation is not great, but it's a fantastic looking figure. Let's get an idea of his size. I'll do a comparison. So in cm, to the top of his head straight, otherwise it'd be a bit of a unfair height. I'd say he is just over 19 cm, like that. So he's quite a big boy. Does look good. Let's compare him to some figures. I'll compare it to another Dinosaur Warrior first of all. This is one of the Boss Fight Studio ones, which some places advertise as 112, but they're not. They're 118. And you see that they're far more cartoony in look and far more small as well. Let's compare him to Animal Warriors of the Kingdom. This is the 112 range. This is Lexion, who's quite a big boy. And you can see that he is bigger than Lexion, but does scale very well. It does look particularly good, so I do like that scaling. If we compare him to a Mythic Legion standard size, this is a Malleus, who's just an amazing figure. Again, scales well with Mythic Legions, which is pretty cool. Very, very cool. And then lastly, well, not lastly, last of the 112, I'm scaling with my current favourite 112. That's the Broken Claw Berserker Bear. I've got the very hard to find Chase Panda one here. doing, and now he looks like a small boy. Because the panda, or the were panda, or whatever, is absolutely massive. Now to get an idea of how he scales well with my and with some of our beloved 1/18 scale, I use my Sigurd the Wanderer, who recently has been changing his name to Sigurd the Dead because he keeps chasing after very, very big prey or big adventures. And suddenly I think Sigurd will be Sigurd the Dead once more. He doesn't stand much of a chance against this big boy here. This tail needs to help him. There. See, there's quite a bit of a size difference there. So it's going to work really well with your 1/18 scale fantasy or boss fights figures and whatnot stuff as well. So great looking dinosaur warrior. Few small issues with it, but don't let that put you off. He'll just look fantastic with your other action figures too. Okay, this is Awesome Axytoys signing out, saying please like, share, subscribe. Check out the Patreon, link in the description below. And I will see you in the next video. Stay happy, keep collecting. Bye bye.